Johnny, a lot of accolades coming our way this past week. How do you go about as a manager making sure their feet stay on the ground when we've got to look at the bigger picture?
Well, I've got a good group that manage that himself, but we've stayed grounded all throughout the season. The flip of that, when we've had a couple of bad results, we haven't made a big deal of it. We've stayed true to what we do. And I said to the boys, when that does happen, you just got to keep believing in what we're doing. And when you have the wins, you can't think that all of a sudden you've cracked it. I feel like we're in a good place. We're playing some good stuff, but the boys know that we haven't achieved anything yet. We're not even halfway through the season, so it's about just keep doing what we're doing, trying to find that consistency to what we're doing. And I think we'll be all right if we do that. But we're certainly not going to get carried away.
Very wet weather around, of course, this week. Have you managed to get the work in required ahead of going to Salford?
Yeah, we have. We had to use a stadium on Wednesday because it was really wet down here at the training ground at Woody. So we went down to the stadium, got some really good, because that Wednesday day is a real good day for us, where we do a lot of our prep on the opposition, our bigger area sort of stuff, our 11v11 type sessions to work on what the game plan is for the weekend. So it was important that we had a good surface. So the ground staff down at the ground done a great job, Luke and his team, to prepare that for us, and we had a good day's training down at the stadium.
Salford, of course, a lot of expectation on them in recent years, probably not where they want to be in the table. How do we see this one approaching them?
It's a difficult place to go. You look at the table and you think that they're struggling a little bit with their position, but having watched them and done the homework, they're a good team. They've got good players. It's a tricky place to go. Like, the conditions might be not favourable at the weekend, and the pitch isn't holding up brilliantly. So there's that to contend with. But obviously that's the same for both teams, and they've got a way of playing that makes it difficult for you. They've got a centre forward that's one of the top scorers in the league. So they've got threats that we have to be well aware of, and we are, and we've done our work on that. So I think we're in for a tough game. We know that, but I'm sure they'll be thinking the same thing about us, knowing that what our away form's been like, and obviously recently we backed up at home as well. So we go there in good nick, don't we? And they'll know that they're in for a game as well. But it'll be a tough one this one.
Team news. Everybody available? How are the troops?
Yeah, good. It's crazy, really. You're getting into that time of year where you're expecting to lose a load through injury and suspension and stuff like that. But we've been really lucky. The horrible part of it is I'm having to leave a few boys behind. That's the nature of the squad that we've built. So that's the difficult thing about it. But nice problems to have. I've got a good group to choose from. Got to find an 11 from that. Got to find 7 subs that are going to come on and hopefully help us get the job done. But we go there, with a real good group.
Armani Little told us last week after the game he was 50-50 in the build-up, but it's the situation I suppose you as a manager have got to make. You've got to make those judgment calls, haven't you? And it paid off. Yeah,
I have to. It's my job to pick the team that I think is going to get the job done, but also very mindful that I don't want to put players at risk, and it has to be, it's their body, it has to be with their blessing. Me and Armani had a real open, honest conversation before that game. About how he felt. We managed his training going into it, and he felt okay. He felt okay to start. And I said, any problems, you need to let me know. But he's in great form. He's a really important player for us. So if he was available, I was keen to have him out there. He was keen to be out there, and I'm sure he's glad that he chose to play, because his goal, his performance was right up there, wasn't it? So glad he was available. Glad he got through it. We have to obviously keep a close eye on him in this schedule that I've spoke about a lot. It's a crazy schedule, so we're going to have to manage the group really well. Obviously, him being an important part of that.
On the subject of which as well, the work-life balance. You've been in football long enough now as a player and a manager. You don't get at Christmas. How do you go about that, achieving that with your players and for yourself as well?
Just trying to find a happy medium, really. We scheduled the month a month in advance, so the players know where they're going to have to be for training, when they're going to be in, when they're going to be off. I'm big. I understand that they've all got families. A lot of them have got kids, and it's a really, really important time. So it's about balancing that, getting the right work in. We'd never neglect the work that we need to do. So if we need to be in training on a certain day, a given day, we'll do it. If it's a recovery day, we'll find ways of giving them that time with their families, especially around this period. So it is one of the tricky things of football, and you get into this game knowing that you play on Boxing Day, You know, sometimes you're training on Christmas Day, sometimes you're off, but even if you're off, you've got one eye on the next day, and you know you can't quite sort of relax. Obviously, as a manager now, I haven't got to be quite as diligent on Christmas Day as I would have been. You know, when you're playing, you know, you can have maybe a little glass of wine with your dinner, or the odd mince pie, because it don't matter for me. I ain't got to run around. But even me, you know, I'm there. I'm with my family, with my kids, but you're thinking about the next day. And obviously on Boxing Day we got a big one that we got to be bang up for. So none of us will be overindulging. Let's just say that.
Brilliant. Thanks for your time, Johnny.
Cheers, Rob.